I'm Greg Goral, head volleyball coach at Campbell. We're excited to be here, obviously. Being in a mid-major conference, there's occasionally times that our conference can get a second bid, but usually, you have to win the conference tournament title. And we had a very successful season in winning both the regular season and then finishing off 2 5-set matches in order to get here. My team is gritty and tough, and that's one reason why we're sitting here today. And obviously, not only just excited to be here, but like we can be, I feel like we can be competitive. Obviously, realistically, playing a top 10 team, it's going to be a tough task. But we have, the weapons we need to, some balance on offense to make this a very competitive match for everybody, and then give ourselves a chance if we do what we need to from both the offensive and defensive sides.
All right, thank you. We'll open to question players.
For Aley and Abbie, just being the Texas natives, what'd y'all think when y'all saw you be coming to College Station? Do y'all have any family ties to A&M, or any connections to any of the players on the A&M team? You want to go first?
Yeah, I just think whenever we saw our name on the screen to play A&M, I was so excited to just get to go home. It's the second time that we've gotten to come back to Texas in the 4 years that we've been at Campbell, and it's just really exciting to get to, be in the NCAAs and have our family actually get to come and watch, but I'm really excited.
I was going to say, I don't have any family ties to A&M, but I grew up with a lot of people who did go to A&M, and especially some of my boyfriend's family, they all went to A&M, so it's really fun to have this full-round experience. And then I actually went to elementary school, middle school with Emily Helmuth, and so that's really fun to kind of reconnect in that sense. And then Afena and I played club on and off. We all played club against all these girls forever, so it's awesome to have this full circle moment, like Abbie said, coming back here and playing an NCAA tournament at A&M.
And second time the program has been in the tournament, the first time in 4 years. How special is this team, and what does this run say about the growth of the program over the last few seasons?
We've been close. Our freshman year we were in that championship game, and to finally get here and all the work paying off, it's just a great feeling for everyone.
I think that there was a moment where we were on the court during our conference championship where we looked at each other and we're like, this game isn't over and this season isn't over. And especially with this group, it has been so special because since we stepped onto that court in August, we had one goal in mind, and it was to get here. And to see that come to fruition through our hard work and our time dedication, it was just very special.
Those 2 5-set wins over Stony Brook and Hofstra in the conference tournament, what was going through y'all's minds during that run, knowing that kind of this was the goal?
I just think we play a lot of 5-set environment games and practices, like games of 15. And so we've gotten really good at that and executing in those situations. And I think that we just weren't extremely nervous once we got to that 5th set. And once we made it to the 5th set, we knew that we were going to win the game just because we do that all the time in practice. So just having that experience in practice has really helped us a lot.
This team won 6 games last year. Now y'all have only lost 6 games. Just what do you think has sparked this turnaround that y'all have this season?
Being put second to last in the preseason poll. And then we won the tournament, so I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
I think going off of what Gwen was saying is I think that last year, at one point, these two were both out for a while, and that kind of really set the tone as we had a lot of, younger people, we had a lot of people who had left, and trying to rebuild. I think that was kind of what was happening going through our minds, but I don't think that we would have been as successful as a program this year if we wouldn't have faced that adversity.
For the players? All right, thank y'all.
Thanks, y'all.
We can go ahead and start with questions for Coach. Coach, the first set could often determine a match. What do you want your group to focus on in the first set to settle into this game?
I think the biggest thing for us is having poise and composure. Obviously, we've faced several Power 4 schools this year so far, and a lot of high-powered offenses. As long as we maintain the understanding that, they're going to get some big kills, but it shouldn't affect what we do offensively or defensively. When we go out our business, then we're going to be in the match, in the set. We just have to make sure, like, we're not trying to do too much and then get flustered, start making a lot of mistakes. I think that's when things would kind of snowball against us. But we've done a pretty good job of coming out and dictating play early in a lot of our matches. And that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to, obviously, Jamie does a great job with his team. Like, we've scouted A&M. We're going to try and slow down, obviously Lednecki and Kasakpa and make sure that, we have those opportunities in transition to score, and then we've got to execute out of serve receive. If we can do that, then we'll have a chance to win that first set and kind of help ourselves relax a little bit. But yeah, the first, 10, 15 points will kind of see if we're rattled or not. And it may take a whole set until we take a breath and realize it's just volleyball. But again, I have a pretty good veteran group, which doesn't allow that to happen too often. And, if we're in the right mindset and we come out and execute early, I think we'll feel good, and then we'll give ourselves a chance to win the first set, and then see how it goes from there.
They were early in the year, so a while back now, but how do you think those 3 matches against Power 4 opposition have prepared y'all for a moment like this?
That's why we play them. Clemson being our first match of the year, they had a high-powered offense, so they were 13-0 at one point, and then they're big outside tore ACL, so they haven't finished well, but they were really, really good when we played them. I think playing teams that have weapons across the front row and across the back row has kind of helped our team understand, there are times we're going to be one-on-one at the net, and we still have to defend well. We have to defend, pace from every position on the floor, and the physicality of the blocks. We did manage to score well against Northwestern, Clemson, and South Carolina. We had a chance to win that first set against South Carolina, and I think we lost 32-30 or something like that. So we're familiar with what we need to do against big teams. It has been a little while, but Hofstra has a lot of firepower across most of their positions as well. So it was good to finish with them late in the year, because they have a lot of weapons. So again, it's as long as we maintain our composure and stick to the scouting report and do what we have to do from a tactical standpoint, we should be okay.
What have Aley and Abbie meant to your program coming back as the Texans on the team, and just how if you can take us back, how you kind of came across them being in North Carolina?
Well, we recruit from all over the country. There's very few kids from the southeast part of the country that we recruit. I've been doing this 25 years. We'll go anywhere we can get the best talent. And so there's years I've had 7 Southern California girls, and now it's a lot of Midwest and Texas, and we have several more Texas players coming in the next few years as well. But those two have meant the world to this program. Aley has been a leader both on and off the floor. She's our SAC president at Campbell, and she's been a starter for all 4 years in the middle. She's a leader. And she does it in the right way. She's kind and generous and outgoing, and she takes big swings in important moments and finds ways to earn those points for us. Abbie is just a tremendously hard worker. You talk about those tough Texas kid types. She stares at me every day and be like, just tell me what to do and I'll go do it. And so she's wanted nothing but to be great. And that feeds into the rest of our team from both of those guys. So we got them back to play Baylor a year ago, and to be able to come back and be close to home for both of them, I'm really happy for them. I know they were shocked when our name came up right after A&M, but in a good way. They were happy, and I'm happy for them. So
Y'all are 8-3 on the road, 6-1 in neutral sites. How will you use that to prepare for potentially a rowdy A&M crowd tomorrow?
Yeah, we've been in actually several really noisy, hostile crowds so far this year, and I think going through that already will help us. We know it's going to be loud. We know we'll have to huddle up a little bit closer so we can hear each other, things like that. But like that's the fun part about it. 4 years ago, we were at Nebraska, and there's no better environment for an NCAA Division I volleyball match than there. And to be at another arena where there will be a great environment is what you want from your experience in the tournament. So, but yes, when we were at Stony Brook, they brought their band into a really small gym. It was deafening. And we won both of those matches on the road there. At NCAA, same thing. It's loud, it's hostile. So we played in several of those environments, and it shouldn't be too much of a factor as far as like rattling us, because we've done it several times this year, and at South Carolina as well. So.
Not sure how familiar you were with Jamie before this week. I know he has a little bit of a non-traditional path to coaching. Curious if you could speak on what maybe he's brought to college volleyball, or some of the coaches that have kind of the non-traditional paths to head coaching in college volleyball.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously been around a very long time and done it at the national level, the international level. So I've known of him. We have similar friends. We just haven't run in the same circles. But I got to meet him out in the hallway. But he does a great job regardless of what level it is. And I think at A&M, he's brought that international understanding of how to play the game at a higher level. And obviously you can see it in how they've played over the last 3 years. Like they've done nothing but got improved. And now they're hosting, a regional in the NCAA tournament. And he's getting quality talent out of Texas. Obviously there's a lot of great schools in Texas to play for, and he's brought Texas A&M back to where they used to be, and so I'm excited for him. I think he has a mind for the game. I know that he technically he's really made sure that this team is primed and ready to go. And I'm on the top 25 rankings committee, and so I've paid attention to A&M all year. I feel like they can make a deep run if they get past us. But like they're definitely a threat. I thought they could have possibly been a 2 seed. Again, like if they play well, they can beat anybody. So been very, very impressed with Jamie and his staff and how they go about it.
In your experience, do coaches with an international background, do they see the game any differently? Does their style come across any differently?
I think that just knowing that, how to do it at the international level where teams are pretty even and the talent level is really high, there are those little bits and pieces, nuances to the game that if he can train it in younger players earlier, they are going to be more successful. So the offense obviously is very fast. It doesn't allow blocks to close, and as long as you have the athletes on the pins and in the middle that can run that offense, it's really hard to stop. And then obviously they're a great serving team, great ball control team. Those are the things that, again, like a Nebraska is good at all those things. And when you're in system, then you can run your fast offense and create problems everywhere across the net. And so like those are little things, and then just the style of offense as far as having Lednicki hit out of the back row, and just what they do to isolate for different players or overload blocks are things that are done. Just they're very intelligent, and so it gives even their lesser hitters advantages. And as long as you have a setter that distributes the ball well, makes good decisions, like they're a problem. So across the board, he's done a great job with that, and you can see they're technically sound, defensively sound. They do a good job across the board.
Speaking of last season and the way things went, just how rewarding has this group been, specifically the seniors, and then going into the NCAA tournament? I imagine it's felt pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's really rewarding. I'd say from last year for sure. Last year was a perfect storm of things going wrong. We graduated essentially 4 first-team all-conference players, and then several of our best players got hurt and were out either the entire year or most of the year. There were points in the season where we had more than half the team on the injury report. I was using, freshmen in starting positions. I was moving right sides to play outsides and middles to play right, and we had a brand new libero, and so we competed. We just didn't have enough firepower to win a lot, but we were losing in 4, losing in 5. We were still fighting, and that's part of our culture, but we just didn't have the pieces to be as successful. But when I recruited this group, I knew that by the time that they were seniors, they were going to anchor our team. Like, those are things you just learn as a coach, and being in our program, like, those 4 were a special group coming in, and now it's come to fruition. Like, they are great leaders. They have the talent. Gwen has been a rock star for us on the outside. She has matured greatly from the last 3 years, and this year now, like, she was the tournament MVP 2 weeks ago, and I think hit 347 in the championship match. Like, she carried us through that. So, but this group as a whole, it's very rewarding to train them for all 4 years, and for them to come out and really lead this team to have the success we've had is really special. And they were not happy with how last year went. Nobody was, but I knew coming into the fall that we had a very, very good chance to win the regular season and give ourselves a chance to be here. And they did all the work, and I'm very proud of all of them.